Hey guys, welcome into another weekly portfolio update. Got a few things to go over this week, a few moves that I've made. First thing I just wanted to mention is that GHVI, the Matterport SPAC, has finally changed its ticker symbol to MTTR. It's just something that's kind of been, we've just been calling it GHVI for a long time, and now finally they've actually changed the ticker symbol to be MTTR or Matterport. Yep, this is the performance of this portfolio. So yeah, not a lot going on there. I'll go through all of the brokerages so you can just see these are the stocks that I hold, and those are the percentages that they're currently up or down. And then putting them all together onto one page here in Yahoo Finance. So this is cumulative, all of those three portfolios combined. So balance 57,000. I did add 1,000 in, so it represents $16,005 in profit. This week I was up $2,340. As I said, contributed $1,000. So I've made a few moves as well in the account. So I've sold 1,700 New Zealand dollars of Shopify. That's Shopify here somewhere. So Shopify has been on a crazy run. My cost basis is 1,087, current price 1,643. So 50% change. Current market value of my position is 4.4k, so I still hold 4.4k of this stock, and I've sold 1.7k. So position was bigger, now it's smaller. I tend to sell stocks and buy stocks in chunks. So I sold 1k first, and then I sold another $700 a couple days later in this week. So reasoning behind selling Shopify, or some of my position, I'm still going to hold a significant amount of this position unless it keeps going up crazy high, because I tend to, once I've decided something, I tend to continue to follow through with it if the reasoning continues to be true. So if it keeps going up in value and the valuation keeps going up, then I'll sell more of Shopify stock. Even though I do like the company long term, because it has a huge valuation on it. So something we've known for a little while now is that large caps their valuations are being pushed up higher and higher. And I didn't really realize at the time, because I don't think that I hold very many like super large cap stocks. Like a lot of the stocks that I hold are fairly small cap to mid cap. I didn't realize really that Shopify was a 200 billion valuation or so. I've got it open over here. Yeah, the market cap 200 bill there. Didn't quite realize it was that big. So I hadn't been, like, I own too many stocks to fully track all of them and see, the market cap, the forward PE, and everything of all of them. And yeah, so I kind of neglect the ones that I'm not currently buying. So I look more into things like Tattooed Chef, Corsair Gaming, and Palantir, the ones that I'm buying at the moment. And I tend to look less into the ones that I consider to be just a long hold. So yeah, I was triggered to realize how high the valuation was by Jeremy's video. Jeremy from Financial Education, he sold out of his position in Shopify. I'm not sure if it was all of his position or just some of it, but he tends to know a hell of a lot about the market, so I kind of took that as a trigger to look into why he was selling Shopify. And yeah, I had a look over at market cap, realized 200 bill, so it's heavily in the large cap area, and the whole of large caps at the moment are quite overvalued. And the fact that like a lot of them are overvalued, a lot of the large caps, means that, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna eventually start downtrending. It makes it more likely that large caps will start downtrending. And if large caps start downtrending, it's not gonna, there won't be any well, there'll be some moving down more than others, but it'll drag Shopify down, I believe. So if we look at the forward PE here, 329, which is huge. Look at the price of sales, 58. It's pretty massive. When you're looking at something like Tattooed Chef, you're looking at a 1.5 bill market cap, forward PE of 66 instead of Shopify's 300, and a price to sales of 9.39 instead of Shopify's 58. Granted that quarterly revenue growth, the year over year, so annualized, is 110% for Shopify, so it is a huge grower, whereas Tattooed Chef is at 60 or 58.8% quarterly year over year, or annualized quarterly revenue growth. So it is a bigger grower, but that valuation is getting quite stretched, and the fact that most large caps are quite stretched means, or to me, at least in my opinion, not financial advice, I feel like there could be a bit of a downtrend or flat line on large cap stocks in the coming months or remainder of the year. So I kind of want to reduce my risk on large caps, and yeah, so that meant selling a bit of Shopify. And also, copying what Jeremy does is always a good decision. It's always been a good decision for me in the past. A lot of the stocks that I own are picks from Jeremy, and they've done extremely well. So yeah, I wasn't just going to ignore the fact that he had sold some, potentially all or some of his Shopify stock. So yeah, I did a bit of research and sold out of about, would it be a third of my position? Roughly a quarter-ish. Just over a quarter. But yeah, so that's kind of why I've sold some of my Shopify stock. If you look at the 1 year to date, 76% up. Since May, 56% up. There's been some big moves recently. So yeah, and on the day that I was selling, it just, well, I was selling this morning as well. It just kept going up. I just thought like, oh yeah, that's peak there and it'll come down a bit now. I think I sold at 639 and it just kept going up. Not much, but yeah, just kept going up. And that's all it's been doing recently, really. It's worked out well for me, but yeah, I want to risk off while it's at a higher valuation. But yeah, that's why I did that. Moving into the next moves that I made. So I bought Tattooed Chef, Corsair Gaming, and Palantir. If we look at their price action, so this week, Tattooed Chef down 5.2%. Corsair Gaming this week, from that high, down 4.3%. Palantir this week, from that high, down 3.6%. So they all kind of trended down from Wednesday. Yeah, Palantir, I could have done better if I bought back a bit further. Dropped to $20 down there. But I only put a little bit into Palantir. I put $150 more into Palantir. It's already a huge position, $6,000, and I'm down on it overall by 11.6%. So I wanted to start averaging down a little bit, but also I thought there was better opportunities in Tattooed Chef and Corsair Gaming. So yeah, most of what I bought was those two. It is a mid-cap stock, 41 billion in terms of market cap. So it It is on the larger side of the stocks that I own in terms of market cap, and forward PE 109. It's also on the high side of stocks that I own, and price to sales is also quite on the high side. If we look at Tattooed Chef, it's much higher valuation. So realistically, this one could push down a lot more, which is why I didn't, go heavier. This week I put $1,477 into Corsair Gaming, but only $150 into Palantir, because I feel Corsair Gaming has a much better valuation. Palantir I think could go down potentially a lot more, but I really like the business model, and yeah, they have huge future potential growth. Like, pretty much things that get me excited are like, disregarding the fact that I can invest in it, like if I'm excited about it, like artificial intelligence is pretty exciting, and it's like future innovation. Like, I can't imagine a future where there isn't artificial intelligence in everything we use, pretty much. Especially large companies, they need a bit of artificial intelligence built into their data management, which is exactly what Palantir does. And I feel that will be huge in the future. So really love Palantir as a company. Valuation is high, and that kind of stresses me out a little bit, but yeah, I'm happy to hold it. Quarterly annualized revenue growth is almost 50%. Yeah, so love the company. We'll keep buying if it goes down significant amounts, if I have money to do so. Corsair Gaming, look at their 1 year graph. They've pretty much been trading sideways. Obviously they had a bit of a spike since that spike, or like their recent spike after their SPAC. Actually I'm not even sure if this was a SPAC or an IPO, but yeah, they're significantly down since then, but the valuation is just getting amazing. So price to sales of 1.44, forward PE of 14. Like, that's pretty crazy, and it's 2.7 bill, so small cap stock, which is where the best opportunities are at the moment, and pretty much the opposite to what I was saying before, how I feel like large caps are going to trend down for a while, which will bring other large caps down regardless of their valuation, in my opinion. I feel the opposite for small caps. So when small cap stocks start heading upwards, everyone will be like, wow, I need to get on all the small caps. What hasn't run up yet, and stuff like that. So pretty much all the small caps I feel will get dragged up by that, and especially one of such a good valuation like this, with annualized quarterly revenue growth. Man, that's a mouthful. 71.6%. So huge revenue growth. What that means is they've taken the quarterly revenue growth, times it by 4 to get the equivalent of what would be the year-over-year revenue growth. What that does mean is that this figure can be quite volatile, more volatile than the actual year-over-year revenue growth, because just one really good quarter, and then you're assuming, by timesing it by 4, you're assuming a year at the same revenue growth, essentially. But yeah, so that can be a volatile figure, but 71.6% is still a great number. So yeah, love Corsair Gaming, great valuation. Buying heavy on that one. When it was under 30, I kept saying if it goes under 30, I'll be buying heavy. So yeah, I got quite a bit. We can see the actual number that I bought it for. Yeah, so we got price per share of 29.53 there, 29.55, 29.74, and 29.74 again. I believe, yeah, earlier in the week I got some, where was it? 28.8, yeah, there we go. So that was in the 28s, 28.7, 2 real good buys there. Yeah, so under 30, I bought heavy, and I do not regret that. Great decision. There's my tattooed chef that I've been buying. Can't remember quite what I got those for. My ones this morning were 1916 and 1916. But I think I paid a little bit more. Yeah, 1967 for the others. And even earlier in the week, 1999. So yeah, under 20 I love Tattooed Chef. I wish I was able to buy more when it dipped. When was it? May? Yeah, I wish I had more money around then to buy the dip when it was down at like, it went to like 15.50 or something. Wish I had more money back then, but you know, it's always hindsight. But yeah, I've got a little bit of money now, so chucked it in there. Yeah, Tattooed Chef, forward PE 66, price of sales 9.39, and where are we? Quarterly, year-over-year revenue growth 58.8%. So huge growth, fairly decent valuation, not quite as good as Corsair Gaming, of course, with a 14 forward PE and a price to sales of 1.44, which is amazing. But yeah, still good valuation for a high growth company, and it's in the food industry, which is, especially frozen food, it's not usually a big growth industry, so it's one of the biggest growers in the food industry. Yeah, love the stock, love all these stocks, buying more. Hopefully, if I can get access to more money, I'll be buying even more of these stocks. There's not really a lot else that interests me at the moment. Potentially Coinbase, maybe Beyond Meat, and GHVI's changed ticker symbols now. I know it still shows up GHVI on here, but it's changed over, and the other one might need to update that. What, 47? Actually, nah, they've moved up a bit. What about Planet 13? Last price. Oh, that's Palantir. Where's Planet 13? There, $6. Yeah, $6 for Planet 13. If it fell more, I would consider that to be a good price, in my opinion. For me, I could look at purchasing more under $6, but we'll see, because there's actually quite a few stocks that I like at current valuations. Most of them small caps, but like Palantir, mid cap, I believe. A few of them are mid cap. Yeah, so that's pretty much all for the stocks this week. Yeah, up $2,340, so pretty happy with that. Anything up is good, really. In terms of crypto, we have a bit of upward movement finally in crypto. There was a bit of a bottom and then started moving up. Obviously, it's still well down from its lows. Like Theta is like a third of what it hit at its highs. Ethereum's still at about 50% down. Bitcoin actually not 50% down anymore. It's at 33,500 US, and I believe 64,000 was the highest it got. So it's no longer 50% down. It's just above 50% down. In terms of what I've got in crypto, $3,800. A lot of good green this week, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing too interesting. I haven't heard any big news on crypto. Yeah, so that's crypto. On my house, so last thing I'll talk about, my property investing, kind of. So I just had the plumbers in on Friday, and they pretty much finished up all their jobs that they needed to do, which was replacing the water cylinder and replacing or placing in all the new fittings, putting in the waste for the laundry sink and the toilet, and then plumbing in the new toilet and the new sink for the laundry. That's all been done, and pretty much the rest of the renovations are on me. So I've been kind of waiting for a few things that I couldn't do. Obviously can't finish the room if there's still plumbing work to do, especially in the toilet and stuff. It's kind of difficult, and I wanted to hold off on doing the laundry floor until I'd sorted the sink. I wasn't sure if that waste was going to get moved or not, but yeah, they've moved that waste. Turned out to be an easy job, so it's not sticking out the side anymore. Yeah, so I should hopefully be able to be mostly finished the house by around Monday. I've got Monday off work, and I'll have my healthy homes inspection to get it up to, or ensure that it's at rental standard. I might have a couple of things to sort out after that, hopefully not, but yeah. And then I've got about a week until I head away, and it will hopefully become a rental property shortly after that. So yeah, that's the plan with that. And I want to try and take out a bit more on my mortgage, but I'm not quite sure whether I'll be doing that or not, due to income being able to service a greater mortgage. I have the equity, have plenty of equity to pull out, but yeah, I'm not sure about serviceability. But I'll see how much I can get, withdraw from the bank, and then yeah, I'll move out and make it a rental property. Yeah, I've actually gained so much equity that I'm significantly over 40% equity when I went in with 20% equity, and it's been like 9 or 10 months, 10 or 11 months, somewhere around there. Yeah, so house is doing amazingly. But yeah, getting close to finishing the renovations, and when I do, I'll have more free cash flow to, well, when it's rented out and it's renovated, I'll have more free cash flow to put into the stock market and into crypto. So these videos could start to get more interesting, and these balances could start to get higher, depending on what the market does. Even if I have heaps of cash and the market's just going insane, then and valuations are high, then I maybe still won't buy in. But yeah, we'll see what happens, and hopefully all goes well. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and comment, subscribe if you want to, and always remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing in the market and things that I've noticed and my thoughts. Not financial advice. I'm not qualified in any way, so don't copy what I do or anything. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great week, and see ya.